welcome back to Kinetic Energy 1085. Today, we're going to talk about shoot, don't shoot, threat, no threat. With 20 million plus new gun owners since 2019, there's a lot more people out there with firearms and ammunition. I highly recommend you get training and education on this before you start carrying a weapon or pretty much having one in your house. Yeah, I've gone through a lot of firearms training, honorably discharged United States Marine, served in policing capacities, but I have taken courses, I practice regularly, and I listen to other people's opinions. Two major events that have happened recently, one of them, if you watched and listened to the entire trial, not some Facebook, Twitter, mainstream media, quick clip to fit a narrative, you will see that instance, that defendant did everything right. This defendant could have wrote the book for military and police training on threat, no threat, shoot, don't shoot. The other event recently was not the case. It was a case where I may not even believe they had good intentions. Some people ended up pursuing someone with a weapon. That's where things get sticky. And I'll be honest, I did not watch that one in entirety. So I know that there was convictions, and I'm hoping rightfully so. But I will never be the one that watches a 10-second clip of anything and says, wow, this person's guilty or this person's innocent. Unless you watch something in full, don't talk. Don't have an opinion. Don't say this is in the right or in the wrong. Those were two separate situations where one was a threat, no threat. The defendant did everything right. The second one was threat, no threat. The defendants did not do everything right. There was one conviction I was not in agreement with because I have a criminal justice, police science degree, and yes, I studied law. But let's get into it. Because of those two events, I want to just provide a couple examples because I always say I'm not going to make long, dragged out videos. Hopefully I can keep that as part of my little, I don't know, what do you call it, your YouTube, I don't know, characteristic. Anyway, here's a situation for you. You're out with your wife, you're a dude, you carry a gun, and your kids are with you too. You're in a parking lot, and a couple suspicious looking individuals approach you. Something went wrong, you weren't prepared. One person punches your wife in the face, snatches her purse, and runs away. Do you shoot or do you not shoot? Who answered yes? Wrong. Who can tell me why? The threat's no longer. I would have a hard time not pursuing the person on foot, but here's what I would tell myself. And yes, military training, I know how to box, I know how to kickbox, I lift weights. I'm gonna tell you right now, I have no masculinity problems with not pursuing that person. I have my wife and kids with me. I would only be putting them in more jeopardy, leaving them in the dark with God only knows who else may be out there lurking to go pursue someone who punched my wife and stole her purse. I'm going to be angry as hell when I'm going to call the cops, and I'm not going to pursue the person, and I'm definitely not going to shoot him. You can't. I said running away. The person's no longer a threat. Sorry about your feelings, but you know what? That's how it works. Even though they're in the commission of a felony, which is assault, it's also robbery, because robbery is when you take something by force. A robbery took place, and you have to suck up your manhood and just call the cops. You want to pursue them? If things get ugly, and then there's a confrontation, and then you end up shooting, you're going to have a hard time in court. Whether it can be proven they pulled out a knife and they were on top of you and trying to stab you, you're going to have problems. Don't shoot. I don't recommend pursuing either. Here's one for you. You live in a state that has castle doctrine. For those of you who don't know what a castle doctrine is, it means in your state, if someone is in your home unlawfully, You have a right to use deadly force. Do I recommend that, even though the law says that's on your side? Heck to the no. Do you know why? I'm going to talk about it in a few minutes. It's what the lawyers can convince the jury of. Like used car salesmen, slick ricks. Again, someone breaks in your house. You have a gun. What's the end goal that you want? The end goal that you want is to not get killed and not have anyone in your house, your wife, husband, children, your loved ones. You don't want them hurt or killed. So, if someone were to break in my house at 3 in the morning, the only goal I'm going to have is to get the jump on them first. There's always a weapon very close by, secured as well. I would... Some kind of noise out there in my garage. As long as I get the jump on you, I have a weapon pointed at you, it's loaded, it's off safe, you're going to have two choices. I'm going to let you know as soon as I yell for someone to call 911 in my house to start getting this thing recorded. You can stay here at gunpoint until the police come, or you can get the heck out of my house. And then I'll call the cops and I'm going to give them a description and I'm going to have them come looking for you. You come up these stairs. I am going to shoot you because at that point you know I'm armed. I told you I will shoot you. And at that point, you are now that much closer to being a threat to me and my family. And I don't know if you have a weapon. And when you tell someone you have a gun and you're going to shoot them and they pursue you, you're not dealing with a straight individual. And still at that point, I would probably make them charge at me. The end goal is to make sure you and your family are safe. So, do I recommend shooting someone if they break in your house? No. Some states, do you have a legal right to? Yes. But it's what the lawyers can prove. Road rage. Someone is just, man, they are cutting you off. They're throwing water bottles at your nice truck. Hold on a second. Let me wipe that fingerprint off. So, throw a water bottle, a glass bottle at your truck, and they crack your window. You're like, So, they're waving a knife at you, saying, I'm gonna effing kill you. Pull over, punk. You know, these little names they call you. Little big Terry, scary tough guy. What do? Do you pull out your gun and say, you want some? You want some? Huh? You want some? Guess what? If you guys get pulled over and there's a problem with the police, and you say, yeah, I felt threatened, so I pulled my gun on him. You're probably gonna get arrested. And you know what for? Probably menacing, and in some states, assault. You will never pull that weapon on a human being unless you are in progress of aiming and pulling the trigger. Some of you might be wanting to slap me through the phone or through the video, but I would take my advice. No, I'm not a lawyer. No, I'm not a legal expert. But with my legal knowledge and experience, I would say it's not recommended. Road rage, just abort, okay? Abort, get the hell away from the person. Do you want your vehicle smashed to pieces? Do you want to get in a bad accident? Do you want to get out of your vehicle and lock horns with someone who, maybe they're on methamphetamines and you can shoot them with a 12 gauge 17 times and they'll still come at you and slit your throat? Yeah, that's up to you. Don't recommend it. Here's why. Here's lawyers, what they can prove. Now, if I'm a lawyer, I can make anything sound like anything. So most of you that know about guns out there, let's just use two calibers, 380 and 10 millimeter. 380 is basically a 9 millimeter short. It's recommended that the minimum for self-defense is 9 millimeter, which is a slightly larger cartridge than the 380. 10 millimeter is a 40 caliber bullet. I call it the Magnum. I'm not going to get into that whole history. I have videos on my account here. But if I'm a lawyer, I can make either gun sound like, wow. So let's say I'm a lawyer and I'm like, the defendant here took a 380 pistol. Do you know what that is, people? A 380. It's basically a 9 millimeter bullet. Short in case, smaller gun. That's an assassin weapon right there. He wanted to kill this person. That's why he carries a 380. A 380? I'm not saying it couldn't kill someone, for Pete's sake. A 380 is weak as F, okay? So, but you heard me make it sound like, dude, a 380. Man, those of you who never heard 380 before, you're like, man, I'll never buy a 380. And now we use 10 millimeter. So an actual cartridge of some serious power and energy. I can say the defendant used a 10 millimeter to defend himself. Do you realize it's legal to hunt white-tailed deer in some states with a 10 millimeter? It's just above a 357 Magnum. It's also pretty much just touching on 41 Remington Magnum ballistics. This person's a trained killer. They chose this weapon, they chose this round specifically to destroy anything that comes in its path. Great acting. Bravo, Dan, right? Anyway, lawyers can make anything sound like anything. I was just giving you two pistol calibers of comparison. They can make any weapon sound like it is top military grade mass destruction weapon. So when the jury hears out, they're just gonna consider you some psychopath that, whether it's 380 or 10 millimeter, oh my God, in order to own a weapon like that, you are a psycho. You're a vicious, evil killer. This is why I just say avoid it. Because quite honestly, your testosterone, or whether you're a lady and you're just had a bad day, testosterone for you too, I don't know, I don't judge. That's what's going to get you in bad situations. Last thing I want to talk about here is concealed carry. A lot of states have open carry. It's legal. I'm not going to judge you people, those of you who carry open carry. But do realize you are drawing a megaton of attention to yourself, including bad people, if they want to know who to take out first to succeed in their mission. It's also, if there's someone that's not so friendly nearby, they could, see ya, snatch your gun and run away. Well, you're still responsible for your weapon. So I don't agree with open carry. You're in the woods, something like that. There's not a bunch of people around. I don't recommend it. If you're gonna conceal carry, get a proper holster. Don't stick it in your pants like Miami Vice. Well, Tubbs did that. Crockett had a nice holster. If it falls out, come on, not good. People are gonna see that, it's careless. There's something called printing, which means you're carrying it concealed, but you can clearly see the outline of the butt, barrel, whatever, that's printing. It's not illegal, but I don't recommend it. Just, if you're gonna carry concealed, make it concealed. Because the whole idea is so that the public out there doesn't know you're legally carrying a firearm. That's my tidbits on that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Wait, one more thing. Here's the big one that ticks me off. This isn't part of the shoot, don't shoot. But anyway, the people that say this is the weapon you must buy and this is the caliber you must shoot, or else you're just an idiot. The gun that shoots and feels best for you, and the caliber with the recoil that's manageable enough for you, it's shot placement and shots on target. Anyone tells you any different, I try to be appropriate on my channel, but just tell them they're ill-informed, all right? Just figure because of those recent two events, I'd share some of that information with you all. Have a good night. Semper Fi. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you found this information useful. Again, Semper Fi. Have a good day.